Hi everyone, welcome back to Project No Buy. I'm hoping today's video will be a quick update on a time in July recently where I was feeling the Diderot effect for myself. With the latest marathon of long videos, I wanted to pop on and share a quick real-life update, kind of real-time, about these earrings in particular, and something that I wanted, but am obviously not going to buy, certainly not in No Buy July. It might be a wishlist contender for a Christmas present, or birthday present, or, eventual upgrade present. But I caught myself wearing these earrings and thinking about how they're not becoming to the rest of my wardrobe. It was literally the Diderot effect where, I didn't acquire something new per se, but I was looking at the rest of my clothes I guess let's recap the story in real time. So I was going to a concert to play and I put on my navy blue linen dress. And it's a nice dress. It's, navy blue, so kind of a basic color, and kind of one of those romantic cuts. It was the sleeper dress, very trendy back in the day. I still wear it regularly to perform. And I put on these earrings, and I did my makeup, and looked in the mirror, and these earrings were a Marshall's purchase or something like that, TJ Maxx Marshalls, way back, college days, maybe in Pennsylvania or something like that. And they were probably less than $10. And they're green and tarnished, and they're silver colored hoops, with little fake diamonds in them, and they're missing several diamonds. And honestly, these are details that probably nobody in real life would notice. Although I do have some qualms with that idea because, the whole idea that nobody actually notices, to me, is a little bit false. I know that I notice in real life some of these details sometimes. If I get close to somebody, and especially if I like what they're wearing, and I see that their earrings are missing a few gems, I probably would see it in some, not all, but some circumstances. I definitely wouldn't care or judge though. So that's maybe the true meaning of nobody notices. People may notice, but the real ones won't care, as they say. The people who matter won't mind, and the people who mind don't matter, whatever it is they say. So I might notice, people might notice, but they shouldn't think anything of it, or presumably they don't think anything of it if they have any character worth any salt. Speaking of that, in my kind of final hours, final months of watching content from people who did a lot of sponsorships, I saw some of those sponsorships from jewelry companies, right? Like there'd be Majuri, Idol Diamonds or whatever, and me here with my fake diamond earrings and putting them on and seeing how green and tarnished they are. He's thinking momentarily, if I were an influencer with any salt, I would go look for a sponsorship from Idol Diamonds or something and get myself a nice free to me pair of diamond hoop medium-sized earrings, and just in return for speaking to them on camera to an audience of people that don't actually know me. Like maybe I'd get paid for it too. I mean, imagine that. I don't want to do that, and I'm not going to. But that's totally the antithesis of what I'm doing here, and I would never. But it was just an amusing thought related to some of these people that I used to aspire to be like, doing precisely that, not necessarily because they wanted to replace a pair of earrings that they already had and were in danger of buying some. And again, when I say I wasn't in danger, my desire meter was no higher than like a 5 out of 10. It was one of those things where it was like, I can clearly wait for this. I don't change my earrings that much anyway. It was for a performance. And honestly, these ones work just fine. Are they lustrous and sparkling and exactly what I would like them to be? Maybe not. But is it a need? Also no. And it's precisely the kind of gift that actually might be suitable for my husband to get. It's something that he would probably view as worthy of a Christmas or birthday gift. And, it's maybe an experience we could have going to look somewhere in person someday. Or, I hate to be so traditional about it as far as a husband getting their wife jewelry, like that's not typically our bag. But it's not something I need to buy for myself. And the desire to do so was relatively low. And, when I say 5 out of 10, it was like, it is something that I want, maybe in a real sense. It remains to be seen, but it's definitely something that I can wait for. So maybe a 5 out of 10 is the threshold, the minimum threshold to put something onto a long-term wish list. I'm still figuring out this system as I really strap in for what's hopefully a successful No Buy year, at the very least successful No Buy July. But it did really make me think about all those narratives that I consumed before the fewer nicer things method of curation. The replace an often used item with something nice, something nicer to kind of elevate yourself and what you use and your style and how you shop. That's how you can engage in a purchase. I think another diamond is coming off as we speak here. I can feel what is going on. But anyway, all things considered, a purchase like this would actually kind of make sense on the scale of things that have been recently purchased that absolutely do not. And so, whether this is progress in terms of things that I want or things that I'm not going to buy it. There's no danger. I'm not going to look for possible options. That's not how I want to spend my time. That's not something that seems fun. And I guess on the other side of it, there's nothing right now that I am running from in terms of emotional pain or physical pain. So I'm not trying to cultivate a desire for something that I don't actually need, or that I might eventually even get, but can certainly wait for. Even if it's not a gift-giving occasion this year, this is the kind of product that will be in existence for eternity. It's maybe even possible that I could thrift something similar, or something, the perfect version might be a version that already exists and doesn't support the new manufacture of products like this. That might be ideal. And then it would also have a story behind it as well. And a story beyond just a Christmas gift for my husband, which is already a better story than I wanted a pair of earrings, so I bought them for myself. Just in terms of sentimental value, this is not a comment on traditional narratives of society and males and females and men getting gifts for women and diamonds and jewelry and etc. No. But then again, girls buying diamonds for themselves is another marketing narrative that can be corrupted to make women buy themselves things. The treat yourself mentality, the I don't need no man to buy me the diamond because I can do it myself. No matter which way you turn, it could be corrupted for someone else's end. And in any case, I don't have any desire to buy real diamonds, even if and when I get a replacement for these. That is not something that I've ever really had a desire for beyond something like my engagement ring. And I don't, again, have any reason to cultivate a desire for more expensive jewelry. So I will not be doing so. Although I guess there are endless examples of trendy expensive jewelry that we see on the social medias, the Van Cleefs, the Cartier, the Tiffany, and whatever else that I don't even know about. That is, I guess I did see something in somebody's birthday wish list that I will revisit later this month once I've figured out how to contextualize it in a way that actually provides meaningful value. There was some jewelry in those wish lists that I had not heard of, but also don't really have an interest in. So I don't know if that's progress in some way, that none of these things pique my interest like they maybe used to, or that I'm finally appreciating that in certain categories of material goods, I truly do have enough. And my desire to not acquire is greater than the desire to buy something or shop or use desire itself as a way to ride some kind of roller coaster of emotions during at least this time of my life and this time within society at large, or I guess how I interact with societal events. Anyway, that's all for today's short and sweet little update. Let me know if there's anything that you found yourself wanting, and whether you bought it or didn't buy it, whether you put it on a wish list, how you've been engaging with different categories of stuff. And with that, I will say bye for now, and see you in the next one.